Number 9. We're here at the restart. Beautiful day.
Yeah, can't beat it for spectators. Probably a little warm for the dogs, but it could be a lot worse than this. We've seen rain here. We've seen probably 20, 30 below, so this is comfortable and pleasant.
Yeah. So what do you hear from the trail? Anything?
I haven't heard a whole lot of reports, just the fact that there's snow. So, you know, it'll probably be a good trail if it firms up at night, and maybe if it stays warm like this, it might be a little soft and slow, but probably nothing to complain about.
Sure. You know, something I was thinking about as I was driving in here today was strategy. Do you think strategy at this point in the race, or is it kind of just let's get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strategy in the first 200-300 miles. So, but yeah, the first thought is just to get out of the start line. All that other strategy is in the back of my head, and then we'll just start doing what we do once we get out of here.
You've done well in the 300. It's a 300-mile race, 3 days or 2.5 days. And then a layperson might think, well, that's 300s. But there's a lot different strategy, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, it's a totally different race. I mean, it's two completely different formats and styles of racing. So it's hard to compare that race to this race, but you know, there's a lot of training that goes into doing well in that and also this. So they relate at some level, but this is a different ball game.
So along that line, in terms of strategy, do you put it into blocks, or is it kind of take it as it comes? I mean, do you think about your strategy all year long and how it goes on this race?
Yeah, and it really depends on the team, and then a lot has to do with the weather too. So, and then seeing how everything's going once you get out there. It's hard to predict how everything's going to go after 200 or 300 miles. I got a pretty good idea of what we're going to do for about 300 miles and how things are going to go and how the dogs will look. And then after that, there's so many different factors and variables that you kind of have to be able to adjust on the fly and do what's right for the dogs and what they need at particular times based on weather and all the things I've mentioned.
Sure. Well, now now that you've done it 9 times, I imagine you think about things a little differently.
You know,
or I mean, you compare it to your first time and then this time.
Yeah, I mean, this time's definitely different than the first time, but you know, compared to the last so many years, it's pretty similar. You know, the big difference is there's a little bit different dynamic in the team every year. Some new dogs, and then some dogs that have more experience. So, you know, trying to make a schedule and run them accordingly to the particular team I have this year and this year's trail and weather conditions.
Well, let's talk about the team. Who's in and who do you think will be leading? And tell us about this year's team.
I have several different leaders, some younger 3-year-old leaders, and then some of the older 6-year-old leaders like Palmer and Stella that have been around for a while. So there's a lot of options as leaders. I'm not sure. A lot of the younger ones aren't so proven. So, you know, we'll find out how they can lead later on in the race. That's always the big test, like the last 300-400 miles, how they'll do when the pressure's on. So we'll find out then.
Now, do you have different leaders for different kinds of conditions?
Not necessarily, no. Just trying to kind of use them each certain times and give them a break so they kind of take a little mental relief from being in the front of the team. But some don't mind it. Don't mind being up there all the time. So. You know, the farther we go, the probably we'll get down to less 2 or 3 leaders that you can really lean on.
For these guys. Right. Now, about yourself, I've never asked this question before, but do you train yourself, you know, physically to get ready for something like this?
Not like going crazy in the gym or anything, but you know, conscious of what I eat and just the daily amount of physical activity that it requires to get this team ready is almost the perfect training to get ready for this. You know, the same movements and motions and lifting and you know, moving quickly is the same stuff you're going to be doing out on the trail. So, you know, if you tried to step onto the runners in July and do this, you'd probably have some serious soreness. But we've gone through all the motions now for 6 months, lifting buckets, you know, and working on the sled and doing different things. So I feel like we're well prepared that way for it.
And in terms of sleep, do you try to build up sleep, or it's not really just have to get? Tell us about the sleep, because you're going to go quite a few days with not much.
Yeah, we're not planning on much sleep, so it is what it is. It's part of the race, and that's another big factor is how well you can deal with sleep deprivation and how clear decisions you can make on very little sleep. So you know, yeah, it's not a lot of sleep, and a lot of it, the bulk of the sleep that you do get comes at once. So It's basically 3 or 4 days with almost no sleep, and then about 12 hours of sleep, and then another 3 or 4 days with almost no sleep.
So you don't get to build up sleep ahead of time. It just is what it is.
No, it's not really something that, you know, like I can't just go sleep for 14 hours or something, so
Sure.
it just doesn't work like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, you excited to get on the road, I imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a fun week, but you know, what we've really trained for and what we're used to is out on the trail. So we're looking forward to getting out there. Just want to say thank you to all the people in the Bethel region and the Kuskokwim region, and all my great sponsors, my family, my friends, everybody who supported me for so many years, and everybody who came out yesterday and today, and all the support. And hope everybody enjoys the show.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.